All right, so today we are cracking open something really cool. It's this fascinating self-help guide by a Dr. Mahendra Saraswat from a few decades back, and it's got some, well, surprisingly timeless advice on how to get truly fluent in English. Let's just dive right in.
Right out of the gate, the book just hits you with this story. I mean, get this. You've got a candidate with almost 93% marks getting rejected for a teaching job for someone with way lower qualifications. And the reason? It wasn't about what was on paper, it was all about the fluency of their speech. That's what really mattered.
And this is really the core philosophy of the whole book. Dr. Saraswat basically says that fluency isn't just a technical skill. He calls it a magnetic quality. It's the thing that gives your personality that extra edge, boosts your confidence, and, is pretty much the key to success in, well, everything. Okay, so how do we get this magnetic fluency? Well, the book's first big secret is all about a huge mistake that, let's be honest, most of us probably make when we're learning English. The point here is so simple, but it's kind of profound, isn't it? We learn English completely backwards. We spend years in school learning the super formal written version, and then we try to speak like a textbook. But just think about how you learned your first language as a kid. You were talking for years, before you ever picked up a pen. And that, Dr. Saraswat says, is the natural way. So if we need to learn this natural way, what's the first thing we can actually do? This brings us to what the book calls your very first golden key for unlocking real fluency. And this example is just perfect. It's so true. As kids, we don't speak word by word by word. We speak in chunks of meaning. Give it to me isn't four separate words, it's one single sound, one single thought. Natural, fluent speech just flows like that. So here's the official term the book uses, an idea unit. It's not about the individual words. It's about saying a whole meaningful thought as if it were just one single word. This is such a great way to picture it. Written English can be this long, tangled up sentence. But when we speak, we don't talk like that. We instinctively cut it up into these simple, clear idea units. It's the message, your mommy wants sweets for your papa. The whole point is to leave those complex, winding sentences for when you're writing. Now, this next key builds on that idea, and it tackles what the book calls the single biggest damn barrier standing between you and fluency. And it's something we've all felt, that fear of making a grammar mistake. And the solution is this brilliant little psychological hack. Instead of getting your brain all twisted up trying to figure out complex grammar on the fly, you just lean on shortened forms, contractions, to make your speech way simpler and build up your confidence. And I love this. The book calls them pompous shortened forms. How great is that? And notice, I'd could mean I had or I would. The book's take? Who cares? It's up to the listener to figure it out from the context. This totally frees you, the speaker, from getting bogged down. And you have to check out this crazy pronunciation guide. Jew for do. Okay, so we're speaking in idea units, we're using shortened forms to sound natural. But what words do we actually use? Do we need to go and memorize the entire dictionary? Well, according to this guide, nope. The approach is surprisingly simple. So the logic here is pretty straightforward. The English language is massive, right? We're talking over 60,000 words. And you might recognize maybe 20,000 of those when you're reading, but the number of words we actually use in our day-to-day speech, it's just a teeny, tiny fraction of that. And here it is, the magic number, according to Dr. Saraswat. He claims that if you can master just 2,500 core words, you basically have a ready-to-use vocabulary for pretty much any fluent conversation. So the crucial point is just keep it simple. The book actually warns you against trying to use high-sounding or super technical words. It says it can actually mess up your fluency and make you sound, and this is a direct quote, crazy. All right, we've covered the mindset, the phrasing, the words, but now we get to the book's most important, most unconventional, and its final, ultimate secret. This is where fluency stops being a mental skill and starts being, well, a physical one. So the argument is that fluency doesn't just live in your brain. It's a physical habit that has to be programmed into your speech organs. I mean, think about it. Your tongue, your lips, your throat, they've had years of training to speak your mother tongue. They need new training for English. And this is really the central question, isn't it?
You might know all the grammar rules in your head. You've learned them with your brain and your eyes. But have you ever actually taught your tongue how to physically make the sounds?
This is it, the single most important method in the entire book. It's not about silent reading. It's about the physical act of speaking, of moving your mouth and your tongue to form English sounds. You have to read practice material aloud. Then you read it aloud again, several times. In fact, the book just says, read it aloud, aloud, and aloud only. That repetition is everything. It's the core workout. So there you have it, the 5 golden keys we've unlocked from this guide. 1. Learn the natural way. Speak before you write. 2. Speak in idea units. 3. Use shortened forms to beat that fear of grammar. 4. Master those 2,500 core words. And 5. The big one. Train your mouth by reading aloud. You know, it's a really fascinating perspective, isn't it? Especially today, in our world of AI tutors and language apps that focus so much on the brain. It kind of makes you wonder, have we forgotten about the simple, physical training that our tongues might still need to really, truly become fluent? Definitely something to think about. Thanks for watching.